Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to Enabling Spaces. And we've always at Enabling Spaces we've always had this concept of a masterclass at the end. And this year we said that we've got to bring in the expert who can do this, right? And that expert is Swaroop Raval. Her journey from an actor to a teacher to a researcher to a I mean, it's just phenomenal. I think it's just stuff that most of us can just dream of. And Swaroop's energy, Swaroop's enthusiasm around bringing art and drama and life skills to children is just completely beyond compare, right? I think she's like one of those energizer batteries for everyone. So and certainly for us because she's on our advisory board and she's our biggest supporter, she's our greatest critic, all at the same time. But today Swaroop is here with her emotions masterclass. So Swaroop, over to you completely, and the audience is all yours.
Thank you, Subbu. Thank you for inviting me. Like I promised to do it last time, but at last we're doing it. And it's fun because this way we're reaching out to so many people. The first thing I told Subbu was, at last I'm on. It's so difficult to be sitting backstage and waiting, waiting, waiting. When am I going to talk to all of you all? So, hi, everyone. Are you ready to start? Well, before we do something, let's just warm up because we're sitting all this time. So, can we raise our shoulder? So, let's raise our right shoulder first and then raise our left shoulder and then rolling and rolling back and rolling our necks. Just do what I'm doing. Oh, yeah. Doesn't it feel fantastic? Especially since we've been sitting for such a long time. In fact, even I have been sitting for a long time. How about different kind of handshakes? So actually, in a normal class, I would do handshakes. But then I thought we can't do handshakes. So let's do a different kind of shake. And let's shake our hand in different ways. How can you shake your hand in different ways? Just think of that and do that. Come on, move your fingers, thumbs. And so, are we ready to start? Okay, you know what? Our memories, our moods, our emotions, they enter our body and then they enter our minds and we imagine things, we live things, and all these things actually stay as incredible aesthetic experiences. Which brings me to the point, what are emotions? Emotions play a very important role in how we think, how we behave. What are emotions? Emotions are called feelings sometimes, and they include experiences such as love, hate, anger, trust, joy, panic. They are defined as complex feelings that result from physical and psychological changes that influence thought and behavior. Our thoughts, our behavior are influenced by emotion. Sometimes when we feel things, we behave in that way. When we behave some way, we start feeling things. When things happen to us, we experience emotions. So it's really very complex. They are subjective. So, do you know what subjectives mean? And if you're wondering why I'm talking like this, like generally explaining things that a lot of adults know, I know for sure that there are a few young kids on my program today or in my masterclass today. I know there's one young little girl from another country, and I know there are some other young kids from our country. And so please understand that this is reaching out to adults and kids who are in primary schools. Isn't this a little exciting? Why it is exciting is because just imagine doing a master class which is for everyone. And believe me, this is targeted for everyone. So if you're a kid, this is targeted for you. If you're an adult, don't think this is for kids. This is even for adults. And that's the exciting thing about life skills, understanding emotions, and art. There is no section of age group or ages and stages for what this is targeted to. Okay, so subjective. All of us feel emotions differently, in the senses that if I were to try to scare you, everybody would feel it differently. If we were at home alone, all of us would feel different emotions. And you know what? They're all correct. The other thing is the physiological response to an emotion. Our bodies react to emotions. Think about it. Sometimes your upper lip is just sweating. What emotion are you experiencing at that time? I'm not going to tell you. Think about it. When you're scared and you're purely terrified, your nails are going into your hands, you're so tight. What are you experiencing? Think about it. Then there is the behavioral and expressive response. Somebody is angry, I'm just going to go and bash that person. Somebody is angry, I'm just going to withdraw. I just love you and I want to give you a hug, even if it's a virtual hug. These are behavioral and expressive responses. Now, why are emotions important? Because that's the way we behave. That's how we understand other people's behavior. This is how we manage and control and adapt to our behavior. A person must learn to manage his or her emotions. And when a person can do it effectively, that person is called emotionally intelligent. Emotional intelligence is the instinctive ability to feel emotions, to use emotions well, to describe emotions, to communicate emotions like I just did. I love you. To do it effectively, to do it well, to be able to communicate it, to recognize it. It's so important to recognize other people's emotions, to understand what mommy is feeling, what the boss is feeling, what some stranger is feeling towards you. Because a lot of things like empathy, self understanding, all of them, the root of it is emotions. Because, for example, empathy. Empathy is understanding somebody else's emotions and feeling it as yours and communicating that emotion. Do you understand? So you could not feel empathy unless you start understanding emotions. You need to be able to understand all the varied emotions. Yes, remembering emotions and learning from them, managing them, understanding them, explaining emotions. These are all the skills that are necessary for an emotionally intelligent person. How does it help us? It helps us in our regular life. It helps us with our self awareness when we understand our emotions, when we learn to manage our emotions. It helps in self management. It motivates us. You know, there are some emotions like fear, when we understand them well and we manage them well, they're actually motivating. When we recognize emotions in other people and we understand emotions in other people, we learn to empathize, we build good relationships, and all that is, we make great teams. And that is like social skills. So tell me, what is the emotion you are experiencing right now? Please write it down. If you want to write it in the chat, you can, or you can write it down in your book, which you have. I'm sure you have a book, right? So write it. Yes, I am happy. Akhila is excited. Gayatri, thank you. She has experiencing joy. Um, can I tell you what I was feeling before this started? I know the spelling's wrong, but tense, nervous. Yes, Gayatri, that's interesting. So there are all different type of emotions you can experience. Have you written yours down? Subbu, so sweet, nervous before. Oh, tell me about it. You know something? There is civil work going on my building, and I had to literally go on my bended knees and tell them, please put it off for 45 minutes. And Subbu's running late, and I'm going, oh my God, I just hope don't they start till I tell them to start. Any case, we are having fun, aren't we? So write down the name of the emotion you're experiencing right now. Great. Yeah. Okay. So now, what about writing a few more names of emotions you know, which you just kind of heard me say? You know, there was that emotion I said that was motivating. Guess what that is? Fear. And people say fear is a bad emotion. Well, no, fear is not a bad emotion because it can be motivating, right? Like yesterday, I was making this incredible masterclass for you for the fear of failure. Yes, if I failed, y'all, it would be too bad. So I am okay. Now, you know, sometimes when we're working with kids, they don't know the name of emotions and they don't understand it very fast. So, how about putting a sound to your emotion? Do that in whatever space you are in, okay? So, for example, oh, oh, did you get that emotion? Yeah. Okay, what about ah? What about, that's nice, Subbu, thank you. What about ah? Did you get that emotion? Dimag Kharab is not a name of an emotion. So it Gayatri, you're right. It's irritated. So you, Asha. Okay. What about? Mwah. I know it's giving a kiss, but love. Yes, that's right. What about? Oh, yes. So it would be so great to put sounds to emotions. Okay, that's one exercise I want you to do after I leave, right? We can't do one whole class on just that because I want to move on to something that's really nice, and that is color. How do certain colors make us feel? Even though emotions are not visual and they don't have any color, we certainly associate colors with feelings and they become linked with our experience and they kind of become programmed in our mind. So, bright colors make us feel happy, make us feel joy. Muted colors make us calm. Dull colors draw us in, even though the feelings of colors with emotions is a very cultural thing. But there are some things which are common. Like, Okay, one thing I wanted to tell you is that colors and reactions are rooted in psychological effects, in biological conditioning, and cultural imprinting. Remember that. So I remember, like my mother, my grandmother, my mother-in-law would always tell me, you know, these pastel colors you wear are such dead colors. And if you went to England and you wore a pastel color, you would be very hip. So, you understand what I mean? None of them are wrong. It's just the cultural imprint. Okay? Now, just imagine for 1 second, okay? Kind of, if you want, close your eyes and just imagine that you're outside the room in bright sun. Yes. Now open your eyes in this outside place, which is bright sun, green grass, blue river, lovely dark green trees, and the sky is light blue. How are you feeling? Happy, relaxed. That's true. Now just imagine if the sky suddenly turned dark and gray and there were clouds all over, and suddenly the light blue lake is dark and gray and everything has become dull. I don't think that would be very relaxing, would it? So now you understand how colors and emotions go hand in hand. We assign colors to, descriptions like black is, yeah, it's a color of mystery and domination, isolation. Yellow is a color of joy, enthusiasm, happiness. But sometimes yellow is a sign of cowardice. Like green is a color of hope, but it's even the color of jealousy. So, are we ready to start with some things? But before we do anything else, can we just draw lines on our paper? Take one sheet and you can take a black crayon or a pencil and just draw lines. Any kind of lines. You see, we have lines on our screen, but anything. They could be curly willy lines, they could be straight lines. And just do it. Straight lines, jagged lines, squiggly, zigzags. Okay? Okay. Now, stop for a minute and think of it as happy lines, sad lines. You think this works? Okay, I want to show you something. Okay, see this. Can you see the difference? See the happiness in the colors here and see the gloom in the colors here. Right? How about this? If you want to use this, you can. I love the frustrated one. You know, it helps me every time when I'm really frustrated and I'm doing all these squiggles. It really means like I'm really frustrated and my mind's going wrong. Again, there are no visuals of emotions, but this is kind of the way I can express it. Artists have done that. I want you to do this later on. I'm going to come back to you with this, okay? So I want to show you just one more painting because before I go back, just imagine if you were in front of this painting. It's a huge canvas. How does it make you feel? The pride and the joy and the energy. And see this. This is by the same painter. Okay, so now I'm going to do something for you that will make you feel really nice. Is I'm going to play some music for you, and I'm going to ask you. Wait a minute, just let me get this, okay? Yes, here I am. I'm going to play some music for you, and let's see what you draw, just lines with this music, okay? Draw whatever lines you feel with this music. How does it make you feel? Nervous, sad, scared, happy? Just think of all the emotions you are experiencing while you listen to this music. Okay, now lines. I want lines. Yes, joyful. That's right. But draw the lines that show joy. Okay, now something else. Isn't it beautiful? Draw the lines that make you feel this. Serene, sad, and the last one. Okay, one more. Think of the lines. How does this make you feel? Wasn't that interesting? Have you ever done this before? You should try it. It's great fun. And at the end, I'm going to tell you what's the meaning of this and how you can use this for so many things, okay? Directly, of course, for emotions. Is I know that when I used to be very, very upset, when I was a kid or, an adolescent, and I would sit in my diary and just go on doing squiggles and squiggles and squiggles. And, I would be thinking, because I would be reflecting, and then after a whole lot of these swiggles were done, I was not sad at all. Okay, yes, okay, am I better now? Okay, I think that's because I went so soft with all that music. And I know when I'm irritated, I go on doing this. Now, this is two ways of handling it. This is the way you're learning to manage your emotions too. Not only are you understanding your emotions, you're managing them. You know, the Zen tangles that are so much in fashion. Well, I went on doing Zen tangles when I was a kid and adolescent in school, and that really helps, you to start understanding your emotions and managing them. You'll wonder why, and I'll tell you why. Because art stands for ART, that is action, reflection, transformation. And that is the action I was taking, and reflect on it. It kind of managed my emotion, and there was transformation. Now, I'm not going to go back to the paintings that I showed you, but you remember I showed you the different paintings. Now you have to take your crayons. Now think of some emotion like anger, happy, love, sad, shy, afraid, and draw with it. Take your paper and draw that emotion. Come on. So let's start with anger. Let's make it easy. Think of a color which makes you show your anger. Think of the lines that make you show anger, and do it on your paper. Yes, come on. You need time to do it. I will give you half a minute. Okay? Okay. Now let's do something for happy. Take a happy color, a happy crayon. And again, I'm going to give you like 30 seconds. Yeah, I think that's fair, right? Come on, show happy. I hope your lines are different from the lines which you did for anger. Okay, now. Okay, let me make it easy for you now before I fox you, okay? How about sad? How are you going to represent sad? Think of that. Come on. Again, another 30 seconds. Okay, now I'm going to really fox you. Try to show love just through lines. Color? Come on, do it. It's just fun, okay? There is no test for this. Super. Now, I want you to take another paper, and I'm going to give you like, say, 2 minutes on this. I know it's a very short time. And after this masterclass, maybe on some other day, you can do this at leisure with a lot of time, and you can send it to me. Yes? Okay. So, where am I? Yes. Now I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Take a fresh paper. Think of any kind of feeling you want to express using maybe one or two colors and do a drawing. Okay, your time starts now. It could be any colors and it could be any feeling. And I know I need to keep a little quiet because voices can be distracting. So for 2 minutes, I'm going to be quiet while you draw. Don't worry, you still have a minute. Just enjoy yourself while you're doing it. And this is just for you. Of course, if you really want, you can send it to me. I would be thrilled to receive it. You can take a photograph of it and send it to me. You can either post it on Twitter and tag me, or you can FB it if you're following me, um, or you could put it on Insta. Oh wow, thank you. You can put it on Insta and tag me. So I would love to see your paintings. It would be really nice. Oh, that's 2 minutes. Wow, it went really fast, didn't it? So I'm going to stop this. And Subbu, we do have time, right? Uh,
Swaroop, yes,
or are we
it's
done?
up to you. How much time do you need? How much time are you looking at? Do you want?
Looking at one small thing which I love to do. So if you say
Go for
yes,
it.
otherwise we can. You don't
Go for it.
do a
Go for
question
it.
thing.
This is your stage. Go for it. Please go for it.
Great.
YouTube Live is on fire anyway, so please go for it.
Wow, how nice. I'm so excited. Thank you for this. I really love doing it, Subbu. So, okay, I'm going to do something very exciting for you, and that is using words. You know what? We really need to be able to express our emotions well. It is, this is the full sound, Manjushri. I cannot go louder than this. So, uh, yeah, okay. So, sorry, I got distracted by the chat. Yeah, we need to know the names of emotions. And you know what? Just learning names by heart or like opening dictionaries and learning is no fun. And I'll tell you why you need to learn it. Like, just imagine if Subbu and Learning Curve said that there is going to be this lady who's going to do a master class. And you would think, yeah, it's some lady who's going to do a master class. Then Subbu would say that there is an educationalist or a teacher who's going to do it. And you think, okay, well, a teacher's going to come. It could be any teacher. Then he says that Mrs. Sampat is going to do it. And you think, oh, well, it could be any Mrs. Sampat. But the minute Subbu says Swaroop Sampat is going to do the masterclass, you know exactly who is going to do this. So emotions are like that. Need to know the exact name of the emotion. It's not, oh, I'm feeling something. I don't know what I'm feeling. Well, if you're feeling something and you don't know what you're feeling, how am I going to know what you're feeling? Right? And you should be knowing what you're feeling because we all want to be emotionally intelligent. So, to cut the talk short and get into the activity, I'm going to teach you how to write poetry. Yes, we're going to write acrostic poems. Oh, yes, I wanted to tell you this. Can you see this beautiful self portrait of irritation, of anger? Just imagine if all the lines were changed. Who's going to do me one? Please do me one self portrait with just lines expressing a different emotion. Now, getting back to the poems. Here, acrostic poems. Love. It's a song actually, and I love it. Love is for the way you look at me. Love is the only one I see. Love is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than that you adore can. What about glad? Glad. G gives energy. Glad lets you laugh, always makes you smile, does not make you feel lonely. And I wrote these specially for you all. Scared sometimes can make you cry, can make you nervous, can make you tense, reminds you of scary thoughts, can even make you shake, even can make you shake. You know the feeling, oh, I'm so scared, does not make you feel relaxed. So I want you to do an acrostic poem for me. And since we're really running out of time, how about you doing an acrostic poem for me and posting it for me? Okay? Take whatever you want, any emotion, just anything you want. I had written one for fear, but I can't find it right now, and I don't have the time. I'll share it for you. Let me put it that way. I'll put it on the Learning Curve site, and then maybe y'all can post your acrostic poems for me. How about that? Yes. So now you have to do two things for me. Yes. Or next time they have to ask Subbu to give me the whole day. So, okay. So, one painting and one poem. Will you do that? It's a great way of learning emotions, believe me. And there's nothing childish about it. Don't think about that. Just think, it's incredible. And for all the teachers here, try it with the kids, try it with the littlest of kids, and they will really learn this. And you can try it at home with all the adults too. It works beautifully. Okay, so let's see it. And back over to Subbu. Subbu, I think, do you have any questions? No. I mean, now there's no question
Uh,
answer for this,
no, no, there's no question. I think we're all thinking about what acrostic poem to write.
right? I know. Well, I will
So
pick
that's
one
what we'll
as
do.
soon as I get off this, but I want to say thank you and Learning Curve and Gayatri. Thank you very much, guys. I'm so proud to know y'all. This is such a fantastic conference y'all have done. And thank you for letting me share all this with everybody who's joined in. And all of you who've joined in, thank you very much. I think you must always, always, always just follow Learning Curve. They're awesome. Thank you.
We're awesome because we know people like you, Swaroop. That's why. And I think half the energy that we have comes from thinking about folks like you. So thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for making the world a better place. Thank you for being in our corner. We love that.
Yeah.
So nice of you. And we'll be on Twitter and Facebook with the acrostic poems and the art very soon. I'm sure people will be ready to share. So
Yes.
we'll share that with you.
So,
Thanks once again.
You know why I was talking like this? Because I have an incredible, crazy group of people who've come on today. And I just have to tell you, there's one little girl called Aisha. There's one whole group of kids and people from Sarthak. There's a whole lot of primary government teachers. And guess what? Thank you, Subbu, for allowing my research students for coming on. And all of them are on. So I think this is really exciting. Thank you.
Very exciting. We loved it. Great way of. I think it's a great way of, closing an event with all this high, all this energy that we're taking back. So once again, thank you so much, Swaroop, for being patient with us, and thank you so much. I'll end